point. Frequencies are limited. There's not an unlimited number. So there comes into a sharing system on there, and that's been set up. There are protocols set whereby everyone gets an opportunity to use the frequencies. There's a band plan. So we can make it work. On Sunday nights, you can find many station areas having their emergency net where we fire up everything once a week. Steve and I fire up and talk to one another. It's the only two that we can get to talk to us, he and I. And we do that at 8:15. Our frequency is 147.565. And we can pick up Brea, we can pick up Garden Grove, the Long Beach, well, it's LA area. They all have their nets, and they're all kind of right after one another. You can participate in them. They love to have you check in. Anyway, more efficient, taller, better. Now, the bad boy on my house is, yeah, it's the best. That's Tim the Toolman Taylor antenna up there. My neighbors don't see it anymore. We snuck it up there, and they just don't see it anymore. But each of these antennas, as we become more efficient, can do things for you with limited power. They have a property called gain to an antenna. Depending on how you figure the effectiveness of the gain, and I'm doing it with a big number, okay? It sounds better, it's easier to remember for me. They do it in dB gain, dBi and dBd gain. They're two different things. Don't ask me to explain it because I don't know. But, for example, the antenna on top of my house on the 2-meter band has a gain of 9.5. Okay? If I run 5 watts into 9.5 dB gain antenna, that effectively, without adding any more power from my radio, brings that up to an effective power of 45 watts. Okay? So, in amateur radio, put your money in your antenna. That's where you want it. You want a very efficient antenna. Now, any of these here will do for what we do in the state. Any of these will do. So, that's the neat thing about amateur radio. The removable antenna, it allows the tinkerers to do a lot of things. And you don't have to have a big, crazy setup to participate and be very effective. So this is what we would use here in the event of an emergency here in the state. This is what we used when we had the test, what do you call that, practice thing, and it works very, very well. Steve and I have used it other times for other things, and it works out very, very well. Bottom line, how do I become a ham? If you go to a website called qrz.com, you can take practice tests. And the license that one would first work for is a technician license. It's actually 35 questions. I took it the other night just to see if I could still pass it. 94%. Okay. There's a pool of about 350. 250. There's several hundred questions. They only take 35 out of there. Some of them deal with electronics, math, and stuff like that. It's a game. If you're no good at math, make sure you're real good on regulations. You can miss all the math ones as long as you get all the regulations, the FCC codes and things like that. You can go down to a place called HRO, Ham Radio Outlet. It's on Euclid. It's between the 5 freeway and the 91 on the west side. Okay, HRO. You go down and buy books. Now this one I really particularly like. It's by a guy named Gordon West. He's a kook, but he's a pretty nice guy. And he makes amateur radio fun. I like his books. The questions that you get in these books are the exact questions that you'll see on the test. They'll have the same question number. There's nothing. You will see exactly what you studied. You go in and memorize the right question. Forget it when you're done. Simple as that. Okay, so this one I like. You went through. You read the question. I highlighted the right one. and then just went and kept taking practice tests till I got, till I remembered it. On the other hand, if you're technically challenged, Lance took Alpha Zulu, and they reduce it to little caricatures, and they give them really cute names, and they give you little ways to remember this, okay? He did well with that. I'm a big one of having a set time to study. I like to go to a class. I viewed the video. Tom Morris absolutely hated that. He took the book and read it. Joyce works on a reward system. Prop her up in bed, give her a book, and keep her fed and watered. She's good with that. Lance just plows through the cartoons. There's not a person in here that cannot pass the amateur radio test for a technician license. You become a very valuable asset to our state, to your family, and to your community. And with that, I thank you for your time and your